So with Thomas, and after I'm done with this one, we're going to go to Rico's next
Rico's
door.
Burritos.
And we're at La Roca.
La Rocas.
La Rocas,
Fantastic.
yeah. And the man back there, I'm actually kind of I'm crushing his head. That's Johnny, right?
You can't crush Johnny's head.
I'm barely.
You can't
crushing his head. I'm crushing his head. All right. NCAA brackets.
Yeah. A lot of surprises. I guess there's a lot of surprises. I think the number one thing that I was surprised about is football and baseball try to make parity sound good. I'm not a big fan of parity, but there's obviously parity in college basketball. It's a really down year. But why are there so many teams with 14 losses that are in there? Some of them, earn their. Some of them are at-large teams. So I think it's going to be one of the most wide-open tournaments that we've ever seen. 68 teams, and there's still people complaining about who didn't get in. Like Colorado, and St. Mary's has their gripe, but they should have played better. That's always my thing. If you really didn't want this to happen, play better. So I think but it's still going to be interesting. It's in Houston this year, which I think is good. Last time that happened, I think it was 1971, 40 years ago, and that's when UCLA won. They were in between Kareem and Bill Walton. They had Steve Patterson, since passed away. He scored 29 points in that game against Villanova.
Right.
With Howard Porter, who's also passed away, sadly. But that was in the Astrodome, if you remember that.
Yep.
So this time it's in Reliant Stadium, which is right next door to the Astrodome. So I'm sure there's going to be some people.
No, wait. Let's roll that around. Reliant Stadium is a football stadium.
That's right.
It's going to be fashioned for basketball.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Think it's going to work?
Sure. I think it's going to work. I mean, I went to the Final Four in the Superdome, and it was fine.
Now, I asked because I was at Reliant Stadium for Super Bowl 38.
Yeah.
That was the Patriots versus the Carolina Panthers. It is a beautiful
football stadium.
One of the best I've ever been to, and actually the best from a sideline perspective. But basketball.
Yeah.
In fact, that was the Super Bowl where Janet Jackson had the famous bra incident.
Oh, the wardrobe malfunction.
Right, and I have to give a plug for my best Schnitzer, our mutual friend.
Yes, Beth.
Her brother, Raisin, and Steven, my friends, who are going to be watching this, were down on the 45-yard line. So when we went down to see them at halftime,
oh boy,
and Raisin said, "Did you see that? He took her bra off." I had to get that out of there.
That's funny.
Folks, we've had he's got on his second beer. I'm on my bourbon.
That's right.
We're having a blast here.
This is
great stuff.
Just catching up.
This is great stuff.
But I still think it's going to be a great tournament. I mean, and you know it as well as I do that when you get down to those last two games, it's really about who's watching TV.
Right.
So the people who are in the stadium are there for the experience. They're not there because they got the best sight lines. They're there to soak it up. It's kind of like going to Mardi Gras.
Great point.
So it's really about the TV.
Without the
TV
beads.
ratings. Yeah. And what?
Without the beads.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Ohio State's supposed to win. If they don't, Kansas wins.
Okay, so blah, blah, blah. Who's your bracket? Who do you say?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't want to see.
I'd like to see Gonzaga win, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'd like to see somebody off the wall. Last year when Butler, the 5th seed, was in the Final Four,
Right.
I thought that was great. That's the kind of stuff I like to see. I don't like to see chalk win all the time. I mean, that's not the way to bet anyway. You never bet on the favorites. You don't win any money.
Should college athletes be paid?
Absolutely, they should be paid. Matter of fact, they're in court right now in San Francisco trying to solve this. It's about the
What are we doing here? We ought to be. We're in North Beach here. This great area, but we ought to be. We ought to be in court, right?
No. Here's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
It's the.
And folks, we're not driving. Okay, no, want to hear it.
We're walking.
We're walking.
It's a licensing issue about the video games that Ed O'Bannon started it. Anyway, it's still it's a class action suit.
Ed O'Bannon was with UCLA at the time, right?
UCLA won the national title in '95. So it's still going on. Sonny Vaccaro is helping out with the plaintiffs. So we'll see what happens. It's against the NCAA and the licensee, so it's not going to be easy. They probably got more money.
You have any idea how it's going?
just hearings right now, but it's still being litigated. So they obviously have some point.
So we can see more of this on thomasbonk.com, and also there's a playlist of Zenny62
Zenny 62, check it
called
out.
The Thomas Bonk Show.
That's right. Watch it. Watch Zenny. Listen to Zenny. Listen to me too.
No, listen to him. Listen to this guy. I'm crushing his head. It's not even crushable. I can't do it.
And by the way, come to La Rocca's too.
Come to La Rocca.
Spend money here, and then go to Rico's.
Corner of Chestnut. See that sign over there, folks? In the distance, Chestnut and
Columbus Avenue, named after her. It's Corso Cristoforo Colombo.
How are the Irish coffees here?
Really good. It might be better at Buena Vista though.
Ah. Thank you, Thomas.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.